Hi, I'm Jeff Ray, President CEO, South Bend Regional Chamber, continuing our candidate conversation today. I am sitting down with Holly Parks. Holly is a candidate and also current school board member in the Mishawaka School Corporation for one of the three elected positions there. Holly, welcome. Thanks for joining me today.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Yeah, Holly, we have a keen interest in what goes on in Mishawaka. We have about 240 businesses that call Mishawaka home, so they're paying close attention to what's happening over your way. And so thanks for the chance to get to know you a little bit better today. Holly, for folks who don't know who Holly Parks is, give us just a little snapshot into you, kind of a little bit of your history, background, that kind of thing.
So I graduated from Mishawaka High School in 1991. I have been living here all along. I have 9 children, all and have gone through Mishawaka schools. My last 3 are there currently. I have 2 seniors and 1 freshman. I've been on the school board now in November, will have been my 8th year. I'm looking for a reappointment because when I started on this running back in 2014, I had kids that I had adopted. And my kids came from a different school corporation. And when I got involved in their IEPs and the understanding of education, I knew that there were some deficits inside of School City of Mishawaka. And I really felt like you, instead of just complaining about it, you should do something about it, change policy, be an advocate, create change and structure. And so that's kind of what led me to want to get onto the school board. I feel like Mishawaka is an incredible town. I've grown up in it. It's a community. Everybody knows everybody. I always tell my kids, you don't know who you're going to see when you walk out the door. So just always shine that light because it comes back at you. So it's just kind of been my whole life. From being a teenager here myself, a parent, someone who works for the community, involved with the MEF. What you put in is what you get back. So that's the way I always do business.
Great. Well, thank you, Holly. Appreciate the intro there. Holly, let's talk a little bit about your time on the school board. So, are there things that obviously you have an inside look at everything that's happening there, and you've rolled up your sleeves and had a chance to influence what's going on. What are you most proud of that the school corporation has been able to do during your time there in a leadership post?
So I guess a couple of the things are technology, bringing our kids up to modern day learning, the security of our schools. I feel like we were very communal and kind of 20 years ago kind of type of school corporation. We're competing now in our safety and our security, and we still have a long ways to go. So I'm proud of that. I'm proud of the changes that we've made inside Mishawaka schools. As a board member, is that you have this false impression that you're going to change the world, one person, right? What you realize as a school board member is that there are 5 of us, and then there's a whole administration team that works together. It is one of those things where you can put an idea out and hopes that you have conversation with your team and that everyone else feels like that same pull is there and that they want to move a policy, an act, whatever it is. So what I'm most proud of is the leadership, the building of the team. We have an incredible team at Mishawaka. I think it's taken us a couple of years to get to where we are today. The right hires, the right leaders, and the right amount of diversity in our board, where we all have our strengths and we all come together in that sense, pulling what our strengths are, and those of us who have weaknesses, someone else fills in with a strength. Our administration team at School City is phenomenal. We have leaders, we have people who are compassionate, understand the clientele in which we serve. There are no false ideas of what School City of Mishawaka is, or what used to be. We kind of somehow fell into the world where we lived in the 1960s and 70s, and we stayed there for a minute. And now I think we're running school in 2022 with eyes wide open. So I'm
Great.
most proud about the change and the direction that we've been going in.
Great. So Holly, as you look ahead then to a new term potentially, so talk about maybe either unfinished business that you'd like to continue to build on, or new priorities that that will be on the horizon that we should watch for in those next 4 years.
Yeah. So we have a brand new superintendent. He's been in now for about 4 months. We have somewhat of a newer board. And so past work still not completed is making sure we're all in alignment. So really being there to support a brand new superintendent, teaching the other board members kind of the way we do business in the sense of just explaining what the school board does, policies and referendums and those kinds of things. New and old is that we ran a referendum back in 2014 for 2015 16 and it passed. As everyone knows, our assessed values are very low. They are coming up a little bit, but not enough to really support public education in Mishawaka schools. And so we are going after a referendum in May, and I need and started this journey, a year ago with our old superintendent Wayne Barker, and now with Theo. We need to continue to support and encourage and guide our community on what we need. So I really like to be able to stay on, and the reason for the reelection is to stay on to make sure that the communications are there, that I've done my job, that I've supported our superintendent and our schools in the sense that we get this operations referendum passed in May. We need
Yeah,
technology still, and we're still not finished with the safety and security of our schools. So those are the two big things that I need to make sure we follow through.
yeah, it's interesting. I think, especially in the referendum space, it's not because anything's wrong necessarily. That's sort of the new normal in school funding. So, talk a little bit about just school funding and help us understand some of the challenges that sort of cause you to have to do referendums these days.
So, 100 years ago, maybe, probably not that long ago, we kind of got ourselves into a landlock in Mishawaka. So even though Mishawaka is a very broad area, we're landlocked to less than 8 miles. So all of our funding for our homes are very low assessed. We have a lot of landlord situations. We are in a situation where we don't have all the funding from the businesses and the factories that we used to. When Willebrator and Dodge and Uniroyal and all of those things were in Mishawaka, we were great. We don't have that ability now. So what we've moved into is that the tax dollars are not enough to fund our education and our programs and our teachers and that kind of thing. So these referendums are not because, we've put ourselves in a financial upside down type of thing. School City hasn't done anything wrong. It's just the community in which we live right now, our percent to our tax dollars is so low. You travel around Indiana, I think we're at the bottom of the corporation list of how much funding we get, which is really hard to continue programming and to continue growing and having teachers and being able to fund that. So referendums, although not fun, and nobody wants their tax dollars to go up, right? No one wants that. We don't even want that for our community. But our public education is more important. Our students are more important, and we have to do something to offset those deficits. This year, which is great, for May, is that we're not going to do a capital. We're going to take that off of the table. We're going to continue the operations and keep it the same. So there'll be no influx of tax dollars, but it will continue. So it continuous. And I feel like we're being proactive and understanding, and again, the community in which we serve. And we heard them and we understand what they need, but we also understand what our students need. And we don't want to cut schools. We don't want to cut funding. We don't want to cut teachers. We don't want to do any of that. We want to continue to grow and we want people to come to live in Mishawaka. The more people who come with children and live in our residence, the better off we'll be. And so we will do what we have to do until we are at a place where we don't have to do that anymore.
Great. Holly, I want to shift gears. So, many business people watching this, one of their chief challenges is finding the talent they need to deliver the services they provide. Certainly, education has been one of those institutions that have been affected by the ability to find and attract top talent, in particular top teachers. Talk a little bit about what Mishawaka is doing to get the best teachers to come teach in your system.
Right. So we were, for years, we were under kind of a pay freeze. And our teachers were not getting any benefits of monetary value. Since I've been on the board and with the new administration staff, as you will, coming together, we realized the only way we're going to bring great teachers is to give those benefits and to do what we need to do for them. So, we pay, the pay structure changed. We did incentive programs. We are evaluating teachers now annually, which is great. And so very high effective teachers are earning those perks of getting pay raises. Our insurance plans, so we reevaluated the way we do insurance. So we have a new policies and new insurance program that we're in. The time off, the pay time off, the sick days, the holiday pays, all of those things have changed. We've kind of restructured. We are trying to change I guess the character page, right? So we need diversity in our schools. We need to be the same people in which we teach. So if we have all walks of life in our school, we need all walks of teachers in our school, and we need principals and leaders in our schools. So the only way to do that is to go look for them. And we are searching, believe, high and low for those leaders from other school corporations, from out of our area, out of our state, trying to find those people that will create leaders in our schools. So we have been looking high and low. It's not easy right now. The pool is very small, because teachers are very underpaid, underappreciated in the world. And so to tell somebody, I want you to go into education, become a teacher, and then to make $44,000 to start. That is a really hard sell, right? You want to change lives, you want to be a leader, but we have to give them other things to make it desirable to move, and to become leaders in our corporation. So we have put all of the financials, the monetary, the benefit package together. Now it's really, we're on the search. We're on the search, and we're weaning out the ones that are just doing it to be doing it, versus the ones that are really thriving and making change. So we found a lot of great principals, and we have found a lot of good teachers. And so we just keep searching. We keep searching.
Great. Thank you, Holly. I know it's a great battle, and you've got some terrific people over there. As we wrap up, Holly, as folks are going to the ballot box and making a decision on who to elect for Mishawaka School Board, give them the elevator pitch on why they should elect Holly Parks for a new term on the Mishawaka School Board.
So what I would say to that is that I feel committed to the community in which I serve. I understand the community that I serve. I am the same person that will put my hands into the mud and go to work. I am looking for the 4 years extension so I can finish what I've started. Also, because I need to develop my current school board, my new members as well. And I believe that I have done everything that I have been asked to do by the people who put me here. And I would like to continue to do what they've asked me to do in the next 4 years to finish up my role as a school board member. Driving safety, driving programs, success rates, graduation rates is always on the forefront for me. So that's what I want to continue to do for the next 4 years.
Great. She's Holly Parks. She's a candidate for Mishawaka School Board, also a current school board member. Holly, thank you so much for your service, and thank you so much for spending some time with us today as we got to get to know you a little bit better.
Perfect. Thank you so much for having me.